É ao vivo, é alto e é com o Lord. Nelson, é claro.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is the big guy. It is the big guy, Lord Nelson, on Live and Loud with the Lord. Yes, indeed. And we have a very special guest. Yes, from the South. I'm from the South, but we're going deeper in the South. Deeper in the South.
This is deeper in the South, brother.
Deeper in the South, but in another beautiful, beautiful area of the world. Another beautiful area of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a great, great individual, Charlie Oceans, correct? Let me make sure I got that right.
That's correct, man. Charlie
Oceans. Yeah. And he is with the band In Elements. Yeah. Yep. I was gonna go deep into this and that, but I would rather you say it. It'll be better when you express it the way you express it. I can get up here and rah-rah you, but it's gonna be better when you say it. So the first question I always like to ask is, please introduce yourself and the role you play in the band, and also the other two guys that are in the band. So,
yeah, for sure, brother. Well, thanks for the invite, brother. First of all,
you're welcome.
Okay, right on. Well, my name is Charlie Oceans. Right now, I'm the frontman, the singer, the guitar player in the band. In the past, because we have been doing this beautiful thing called music for a long time, 15 years. And so in the early stages, I was just playing the guitar and doing the backing vocals. Actually, that happened until the last album that is called Lyra. There are a few things happened, you know, and right now in the front of the band, I am the founding member of the band In Element. I have been there from the first rehearsal, man. And I think that I'm going to do it until the last fucking rehearsal as well.
Yeah, so, you're the foundation.
Yeah. I mean, I don't consider that it's kind of my project, something like that. You know, it's like this is a band, and right now I'm sharing this project with some really cool guys, and we're in the same kind of frequency of the energy. So that's cool, you know.
Yeah.
A few things and cool things are happening right now, brother. So I'm really happy for that, you know, with this new album that I think at some point we're going to talk about that, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, we are here. I'm here. I'm here right now in South America. I'm going back and forth between Buenos Aires, Argentina, that is here in the South, Panama City, that is in Central America, and Florida. So I can, I kind of decided to move around a little bit, not just stay in one place, because I have been doing this. I mean, Buenos Aires is a beautiful place, you know, but sometimes you have to shake up the boat and change the entry. So for the last year, I have been kind of traveling a lot, and actually, that's cool, man. It's like fresh when you start, you know.
Okay, so I was going to ask you, that's my second question always, is where are you guys from? So you guys are from Buenos Aires, Argentina?
Well, yeah, for sure. The band started here in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The bass player, because we used to be 5 members of the band.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right now it's just a 3-piece band. The bass player is in New Orleans, and the drummer is here in Argentina, but in another state, more in the south. Like I told you, it was kind of, you know, going to different places. But half of the year here in Buenos Aires. Yeah.
Okay, love. So what is the best part of, you know, being from Buenos Aires?
Well, you know, Argentina, Buenos Aires is like a really strange place, I would say. It's a beautiful place, man. It's a beautiful place. But
I've seen it is.
Yeah, but let me tell you, if I have to compare, you know, I have been around, I have been touring for a long time. So we had opportunity to go to Europe, to Australia, all South America, and just, you know, by myself, you know, different places as well. So, you know, every time that any person asks me, like, you know, how is Buenos Aires? How is, I mean, South America is really different if I have to compare it with Buenos Aires, because Buenos Aires is like more like a kind of feeling like a European country. I would say like France or like Italy or some places like Barcelona in Spain. The culture here in Buenos Aires is kind of like a strange mixture between, you know, Latin America and Europe. Gotcha. It's a beautiful place, man. It's a beautiful place. You have like beautiful women. That's one thing. I mean, you can be party all day, you know. Gotcha. That's kind of weird. I mean, that's beautiful, you know. I really enjoy, for example, kind of the culture here in Buenos Aires. I really enjoy to just go, you know, to go to a bar. And kind of the rock culture here in South America, Argentina is like a strong place for that, because the foundation of rock in Spanish actually happened here in Buenos Aires, you know. Okay. I can name like a few bands, but there's I would say like a rich culture about rock, you know, in that sense. In metal, it's like kind of different. But if I have to tell you, know, is just to resume, Argentina is a really beautiful place. Right. But it's kind of strange. Sometimes it's like, I don't know if I should be here. I mean, it's like when there's a friend of mine that is from Spain, and every time that he came, he's like, man, he said all the time the same, you know, like, Argentina is a beautiful place just to go have a drink or a coffee and just stay watching all the craziness that happen around that, you know. That's and I was like, yeah, I have to live here, and I have been here because I born in Colombia, actually. I born in Colombia. Okay. Yeah, I born in Colombia, and I came to Buenos Aires, Argentina, 34 years ago, because my father is from here and my mother is from Venezuela. Gotcha. So I have the kind of strange a mix of culture, I would say. I don't consider myself as a Colombian guy, because every time that I'm here, even when I spent 33 years here in Buenos Aires, if I talk with you and you are from Argentina, and, you know, 10 minutes later, you are going to ask me, you know, where are you from, man? And I have to say, yes, I'm from Colombia. And if I go to Colombia, obviously my accent is more like Argentinian guy. Right. So they ask me right away, you know, where I'm from. So I don't consider myself as a Colombian or Argentinian. I have no country. That's kind of, you know, where are you from, man? I don't know, man. I don't have an answer for that, you know. But for sure, part of my heart goes to Argentina, because when I came here to Argentina, Colombia was going through a difficult time, you know, about violence, just a violent place. And when we came here, Argentina is a really, really beautiful place to grow up by yourself, right, with different type of culture, and opens your mind. If I have to compare Argentina with all the other countries in, you know, from Mexico to down south, Argentina is a really open-minded place, and I really enjoy that. And that's why one of the reasons why I'm an artist, and I consider I practice art and create art, because here in Argentina is really way too different from other places. Awesome. So it's a great culture, and then you have the just like you say, you were born in Colombia, man. And when you were talking about all the things that have happened, of course, I've watched a lot of this stuff. I've watched it all. I've seen it, and but once again, still beautiful. And you said earlier, even before I continue, I lived. My father's military. And so we lived in Panama for a few years. Whoa. Yeah. I was really young, but I remember it. I just remember how beautiful it was. I remember sitting on the Panama Canal, watching the ships go through and all those things. We really enjoyed it. We really enjoyed it. Well, actually, my sister is there. She had been for a year. She's working in a technology field, you know. So every time that I can go there, it's way too different. I mean, the Latin culture between Panama, Colombia, and Venezuela is like kind of the same place. You know, if you come to more the south, Chile, Argentina, and Uruguay is kind of different, you know. Okay. And what happened is right now in Panama is there's a lot of money. There's some money, a lot of laundry money there. So it's like a really strange, because it's a tiny place. And it's like the city like from the future, man.
Really?
Everything empty, you know, it's kind of weird. Everything is empty, but it's like a really beautiful place. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, I really enjoy to be there for a couple of months. I don't like the winter here in Buenos Aires. It's like the four stations here in Buenos Aires.
Mm-hmm.
The seasons, sorry, the kind of winter, autumn, you know,
right,
the whole year. It's kind of, for example, summertime is like summertime, like you were in Florida, right? Mm-hmm. But for example, winter is like if you were in UK or just Ireland, something like that.
Does it get that cold?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But Buenos Aires, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but Buenos Aires has mountains, right?
Yeah, well, Argentina is a big place, man. Right. So if you go to the south, the states from the south, mm-hmm. yeah, you have mountains. If you go to the east north, for example, yeah, you have mountains. Here in Buenos Aires or all around Buenos Aires, kind of just plain field, you know.
Okay.
But the seasons are really kind of hard in that sense. So, for example, winter is not like my favorite place or season to be here in Buenos Aires. So that's when I try to go to Florida.
Got you. Yeah, because my great grandfather he's Cuban. He's from Cuba. And
okay.
So we always talk about it and embrace those kind of things like that. But yeah, man, it's all love, man. It's all love, man. We're rolling, man. We're rolling.
So you have some Latin American genes in your body as well.
Yeah, it's all love. So, you guys wear the name In Element very well, from what I've seen in the music I've listened to. So, listening to your music, I'm wondering if you came up with the name to describe or represent the many different genres in your music.
Well, it wasn't intentionally in that sense. This happened when we decided to use that name was in, I would say, 2003.
Okay, right.
So we really don't know what we were going to do, you know, from music-wise, I would say. I mean, we have no fucking idea about that.
Yeah.
But I have that kind of feeling that, you know, I don't like to do something like that band, you know. For example, mm-hmm. on that time we're like, you know, Machine Head, Pantera, right. and that kind of bands, and all the bands were doing that kind of stuff. You know?
Gotcha.
I knew that was impossible, man. I mean, it was impossible. I don't know. Here, just, you know, for the equipment, it's like, man, we don't know how to play like that. We don't have the equipment. It's just, I mean, we have to do something else. So I was kind of, you know, the expression or the concept behind In Element is kind of close to, for example, Nirvana. It's kind of that balance between your mind, your consciousness, and your body. In Element, if you are like in the zone, I would say to you, man, you are in your element, you know,
right,
you are
right.
in element, that kind of the state, you know.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find that kind of nice balance between everything that I wanted to do, because my background was more from, you know, Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Gotcha. Then I discovered bands like Machine Head, you know, European music from, for example, Amorphis, and, you know, Machine Head and that kind of stuff. So, but pretty much the thing that I liked most was, you know, just Jimi Hendrix, just trying to play guitar. Yeah. So I was trying to find, I just don't want to do like something like Fear Factory or,
right.
know, I mean, I just naming or quoting Fear Factory because the first album that I really hit me was Demand Factory in that sense. Mm-hmm. Was like, man, yeah, I mean, how can I do something like that, you know?
Right.
So, but I didn't want to do something exactly like that. My idea was to mix that with another kind of
got you
playing and feelings that I had there. So I'm with the band on the lineup that we have from that moment. Well, so yeah, I mean, that was kind of the idea, you know.
Well, just like when you're saying that, and I've asked many of the guests this question, and many of my artist friends, is that Quincy Jones says you take 10 artists that you love, 10 artists, and you grab something from each of those artists that you love. And once you grab something from each of them, you'll have your own distinct style. It'll be you. It won't be anything else. It'll be just you. So, you know, those influences, we're all influenced by other people. I mean, how can we not be? So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So when you say
so there we
so you guys are melodic, melodic metal and metalcore, in which that ride is beautiful, man. Just listening to it, because I'm telling you, I was doing my research. I was sitting there and I was just like, yeah. I said, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
Much appreciated.
The vibe is definitely good. So we kind of talked about it. So talk to me about the history of the band, how it was formed, because you said 2003, but you were doing other stuff before this, right?
Well, yes, but kind of In Element was my first.
It was your first. Okay.
Yeah, kind of the first time that I get on tour, the first time that I release an album. On that time, 2003, the digital platform were starting, I would say, on that time. So okay. I remember that we were about to record the first album that is called Evolution Begins in Chaos. And I decided to go to New York. My sister is there, so I went to New York.
Gotcha.
And I was trying to find, like any type of record deal. And I find one that was kind of, I would say, decent. I don't know if decent, but not actually that bad, I would say.
Right.
So that was the first time that then I came. Okay, we have to record the album, and we went to our kind of professional studio and we recorded that album. That actually is kind of, the songs that we did there. Not sure about the sound. I mean, you know how is the deal. Every time that you hear your album, like 10 years after you recorded it, is okay. There's a couple of things that I would do right now differently. But yeah, In Element was my first project that was kind of professional. And with In Element, I have been touring a lot. And then on my side, I have another project, but it's kind of different. It's not, it was like, okay, In Element is metal and melodic, and I can do whatever we want, but I never had like another project in this type of music. And I did, other things in, like a Spanglish or a trap music or something close to more something Latin, Latin music, I would say, for the last 4 years.
Right.
But yeah. No, pretty much In Element is like my little baby in that sense.
Okay, love, man, love, definitely. So I love the transition from death metal to melodic in your songs. It's a beautiful roller coaster ride. Reminds me of Zoli from Ectomorph or Max Cavalera. I don't know, just me. So talk to me. So is it anything like that?
Well, what happened is like, I would say that maybe I get bored of the same thing.
Right.
So it's like, okay, if I hear any type of really, heavy album, like, I don't know, for example, I would just say Cannibal Corpse, for example, or Meshuggah, Meshuggah is another example. They don't have anything, I would say, melodic in their music. So if I listen like straight up like 40 minutes of that music, at some point it's like, okay, man, I have to take a nap of this, man, because it's kind of tired, man. I dig that kind of music, man, but at some point it's like, okay, I just want to hear Coltrane or Mike Davis,
Right.
So right now for this new album that is coming up on September, in May 11th, we have the first single. The album is called Victory or Defeat, and the first single is called Scorpion Paradox. We tried to do something more like a song prototype, like song, like 3-4 minutes, and just the chorus in the songs that actually I took that kind of main idea of build a song. Like, I just wanted to do something really like, like it hits you, the melody. Not catchy. I wouldn't say the word catchy, because that concept doesn't go with I would say, how the creation of a piece of art, happen. Right. But it's like, okay, the melody have to be like natural there. And I just don't want to be, screaming all the time, because actually it wasn't the feeling that I had, it was kind of, when the pandemic started and, personal stuff and like, I mean, I wasn't full of hatred. I have a lot of beautiful feelings and mix of feelings, because life is sometimes that, a mix of feelings and melancholic farewells and beautiful reunions.
Of course.
So that was kind of the things that I wanted to put on words, in melody, and in the atmosphere of the songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have done a great job. You went to my next question because I was definitely about to ask you about that. But you spoke about like Miles Davis and Coltrane and those things like that. And that just speaks to your culture, meaning like you've been cultured in other music. Because one thing I've always said is I'm not a genre snob. If the music sounds good, I don't care what genre it is. I really don't care what genre it is. If it sounds good and it's hot to me, I'm going to listen to it. I don't care what anybody else says. So I've always been one of those kind of individuals that I've wanted to do other things and incorporate other kind of things into the music, and it just like you said, just keeps things different. It keeps things moving. It keeps things you're inspired by things. So that's cool. I love that you say that. I love that you say that. So when you say a new era has come for In Element, what do you mean exactly? And of course, I'm getting that. Yeah.
It's a funny story, brother. I mean, there's, relationships. Relationships is kind of, I think that sometimes, most of the time, I feel like I'm here. That's pretty much, in my body, in my consciousness. I'm here to learn from the other person, and sometimes you learn from the good action and sometimes you learn from the bad actions that that person had with you.
Right.
So we have a really tight, I would say a really good band and the lineup for many years, close to 10 years. It happens that we were doing some really cool gigs here in South America. For example, with As I Lie Dying, Kiss Switch Engage, bands that, that I really love them in the sense that their music, hit me some point. Sorry, I have this cough now.
Are you good?
Well, what happened is that we have this concert. A few things happened with the band, and there was this promoter that tried to rip us off. And I didn't like that because I was tired of the fucking shit. Right. So I said, man, that's not gonna happen today. You know what I mean? So right. It was kind of a mess situation. I'm a peace. I consider myself seriously like as a peaceful person.
Right.
But if someone tried to go after you and hit you, I'm just like a lion hunting for self-defense for myself and my peers. Right. So that's what happened. And that day, kind of the band break up, and I just wanted to. I had that kind of feeling that I wanted, or the band needed to another approach, another kind of energy. So with the bass player and the drummer, we stayed with the project. And I said, look, I always wanted to be in front of the band, like from the day one, from the first rehearsal, but kind of the destiny happened that, another person came and, so I didn't have the opportunity. And really right now I want to do the things differently. Right. Just kind of condense everything, just simplify, like just in the 3 persons. Right now we have a tour. We have a sessionist, like a guitar player, because I just want to be, trying to have that kind of connection with the people.
Right.
And I have been playing the guitar, on stage for 20 years. So it's like, okay, maybe we have to think about another kind of mechanic on the stage. Right. And that's pretty much what happened. I said, look, let's try to do another thing. And that kind of 15 or 17 or 18 years of the band kind of ended, and I said, okay, we have the opportunity to do something else. We started to record a couple of songs, and that's ended up in a new album. Right now we have a really cool record deal with a label from France. We have a tour, like a massive tour, by November in Europe, and we have a bunch of videos, and everything kind of started to happen by itself, man. You know. And I feel like, okay, maybe it's about that, man, because I have been struggling all the time with try to create things. And right now I just enjoy the music and writing the lyrics and doing the music by myself and in a few occasions with the rest of the band because they were traveling and the whole thing. And that's kind of the new era. You know, the new era actually is like a different approach from ourselves and kind of the vibration and the energy that we have within the band and between the members.
Right.
And I'm really grateful for that. I'm enjoying a lot of that, man. We spent like a year and a half with effortless, you know, that was effortless, you know, the new era. And I mean, I think I'm saying this not for the sake of my band or myself, just for the people that is hearing this. When something had to happen, it's going to happen effortless.
Right.
It's about, you know, the energy that you put there and the right moment. The right moment came when you have the right vibration with the other person that is in front of you, right? For example, right now, you know, we're trying to vibrate in the same frequency, man. That's
man. Yeah, that's good. Because I'm going to ask a question about that. Another question coming up, but I'll get to that in a second. So, the title. Tell me about the title of the new album. What does that mean?
Man.
Yeah.
Well, I consider myself as a Buddhist, and in Buddhism, there's no punishment or reward.
Okay.
The concept is not about punishment or reward. It's about victory or defeat.
Okay.
It's way too different, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Can you feel it? It's different, man. It's different. You know what I mean? It's not like, hey, you did something wrong, so I will hit you, or whatever. You know? No. It's about the victory, you know, of yourself.
Right.
There's no grace in this life, man. It's all the way. Another author that I like to quote is Charles Bukowski. Charles Bukowski is a novelist from the 90s there in the United States. And in his gravestone, he has, don't try. Don't try.
Right. Don't try.
Don't try. Just don't try.
Right.
If you are going to do something, just go all in.
Right.
Go on. So, you know, that's pretty much the concept that I was thinking. I was in this kind of reunion that, I mean, just like a meeting that we have sometimes with the person, the people from Buddhism. I mean, one person said to me, like, look, life is about victory or defeat, you know? I mean, you win or you lose. And if you win, that's fine, you know, you have to keep on. And if you lose, that's fine, man. It's a way of learning. And that hit me like really hard. I was like, I didn't have any response at all on that. I was like quietly thinking about that kind of concept. I was like, oh, yeah, that's in some point I did understand that was what life was about in some point, you know. So I said, man, I sent like a message to the band. I said, because my idea was to put the title of that album, this new album was Nile. Like the River Nile, or something like that. I said, no, man. The title is Victory or Defeat, and we have to take this album in that way. It's just all in or nothing, man.
I got you.
I mean, yeah, I'm not talking about kind of, I mean, the victory that you could have from your side. It's not like, you know, being famous, money, or something like that. I'm not talking about that. The victory that you could have in anything that you do with your job, with your mother, with your father, with your wife, with any type of relationship. Just, for example, go and run 1 mile, whatever situation, man, is that type of victory that I'm talking about.
Right. I got you, man. Hey, I love that. That's good. Listen, it's a great answer. It's a great meaning behind that. And when you said, you know, Buddhist, I remember a long time ago, my father, you know, he'd been to Vietnam and all kinds of things. And so I remember he brought back a Buddha. he had this Buddha that he had for so long, this red Buddha, and we were never allowed to touch that Buddha. It was special to him. You know, he never went into details about it with us, but it was special to him, and he would always let us know, do not touch my Buddha. Let that Buddha stay right there where it is. And, you know, we were young, and we were just like, you know, we're trying to understand, but, you know, when you speak about that, it's just, you know, victory or defeat is just like you just keep living your life, man. You just keep moving forward. And so
regardless. I mean, I can't even obviously imagine, you know, how it's to be in that kind of place like Vietnam or you know, just be on war, man. But that kind of physical and that hatred in the environment. I mean, I can't. I mean, there's no not even my mind or my body can contemplate that. But at some point, it's about, you know, the war. Let me put it this way. The war of duality is everywhere. Between love and hate. You know, the war of duality. I wrote about this in the previous album that is called Lyra. And it's about the war of duality between love and hate.
Got you.
And there's one quote that I love to use that I stole from one person that is called Alex Collier, that I put in that album, in the previous album. That says something like this: the love that you withhold is the pain that you will carry lifetime after lifetime on and on. So that's kind of the everything is kind of linked, I would say, in life. We are on war. I mean, yes, it's not the type of war that is happening right now or used to happen in the past. For me, it's the war of that, you know, like between love and hate, man, and the good energy and the bad energy. Just do what you love to do. It means that when you accomplish that little thing that you love to do, is your victory.
I agree with you so much, because people always say to me, like, you always say it's love, and I always tell them it is love to me. I don't have time to run around trying to hate this person or that person. I'm doing my best to show love and spread love and be as happy as I can and be at peace in my world. Now, I can't control what you're doing over there in your world, just as long as you're not trying to affect me. I'm doing my best to be at peace, and I keep moving forward in love and in peace as much as I can. You know, that's just how I live my life, man. You know, people look at me, how can you be so happy all the time? I'm like, well, I'm happy because I'm happy with me. I'm happy at what I'm seeing. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm happy in the person that I am. And, you know, and if I'm not happy, I'm going to work on me. And that's just what it is. So I appreciate you saying that, man. I love that.
Totally agree, man. Totally agree, for sure. It's about, I mean, yeah, for sure. And just to, and one little thing about that. It takes a lot of energy to hate someone. Something. A lot, man. Yeah. I mean, have you tried to hate something for a year? Or, I mean, it's like, I don't know.
Too much work.
I mean, I haven't tried. It's like sometimes, you know, when this happened, you know, within the band, you know, when with that day, in that particular day, we were playing in a beautiful venue, 1,000, maybe close to 2,000, you know, people there, and was kind of the gig that I was expecting for many years, you know, and the promoter was trying to do something wrong with us or with me and with our manager, and the band kind of was, I mean, just like a really nasty situation, and I was like, I don't want to keep the feeling for more, you know, like for many time. I mean, I just want to drop it, you know. So like 6 months later, I was like, man, don't try to keep that feeling, you know, within you, because it's taking you to a place that is not that first. That situation doesn't exist. I mean, it's not longer there. You know, the past is past and doesn't exist any longer. So just go over it, and it's time to create a new reality and new stuff. And that's when I started to create new music with the rest of the band.
Yeah, I just call them life lessons. You know, you learn and you move on. They're life lessons. You know, it's something that happened. It was a moment in your life, And most of the time, those other people that have done something to you, they're not thinking about it at all. You know, and you have it living in your own mind. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. It really is. So, you good?
I'm good, bro.
Okay. So you kind of touched on this a little bit, but being in a band can be difficult when you have differing personalities. How different are your personalities now, and how do you keep egos in check? Because you said you guys have a good, you know, chemistry right now.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult, man. Right now, like I said, it's kind of effortless in that sense. I used to battle a lot with that, you know, trying to keep things moving forward all the time.
Right.
The thing is that right now, maybe it's because we don't spend that much time together, you know.
Okay.
That's one thing. I mean, we have a massive tour right now in November. Right. So it's like, but seriously, I think that it's just the timing, you know. It's like maybe we grow up. I'm a different person, like from the last 3 years. I think that David, that is the bass player, and Javier, that is the drummer, they're just trying to be and change their life, you know, in different ways, you know, with their family, with how to get money from society, and do the things that we love, as for example music. And we have the opportunity right now to kind of do the stuff that we didn't have the opportunity never, you know, like being a really good place of touring, at least the opportunity, and release the album in the way that we wanted, that actually we wanted, and work with the artist that we wanted, the producer, the studio, because we have financially we have the assets to do it in that way. So I said, man, like, it was like that kind of mindset, you know, let's fucking do it right now. I mean, right now we can do it. We have no idea if we can, he will have the chance to do it in a year. So, I mean, yeah, you know, like, we never know, man. Don't try to think a lot about the future in that sense, because it takes a lot of anxiety from you. So I think that we are in alignment, I would say. And I really felt it because I have been so many years in a misalignment of energy.
Right.
So I think that I think, okay, right now we are kind of good, bro. So
that's love. That's love. That, yeah. Indeed. So in the industry, with new music coming out every day, how are you guys standing out from the rest?
I think that we are doing something visually really different. Have you seen the videos?
Yes, I have. Yes, I've watched. Yes, I have.
So we're trying to mix. It's like I would say visual journey. I mean, I do know that there's a lot of bands that have doing that. You know, like conceptually mix music and, you know, kind of stories in the videos. So we are kind of releasing this sequel of 3 chapters. The first one is Scorpion Paradox. The second one is In the Air Tonight. That is kind of pseudo cover from In the Air Tonight from Phil Collins. But actually it's not, because what happened with that song is that I made that song entirely, like from the scratch. Just like an original song, right? I was recording because I have here my studio. And I was working in some. I sent it to the band. They say, man, it's great, you know, try to put some vocals. Here in my studio, I mostly record the melodic vocals, and then I go to another studio to record kind of the screaming vocals with the producer. So I have that song pretty much written, and I say, okay, let me start from the chorus, because I already, the only melody that I have was on the chorus, right? And I put record, like, boom, and I don't know why I started to sing, you know, I can feel it coming. I said, why, man? I mean, I already have the melody in my head, the original melody from my song, you know? I tried to record that song and that melody for half an hour, and I couldn't take the melody from my head, you know, like from the song, the Phil Collins song. And I said, you know what? If the universe wants that melody be there, sure, I just want to keep it, you know, I will keep it there.
Right.
So I just record. And the only thing that I took from the Phil Collins songs is I can feel it coming in there tonight, you know, or Lord, or Lord.
Right.
So that's the only thing that I use from that song. The rest of the song is original, the lyrics and everything. Actually, if I analyze kind of the cadence of the melody from the technical standpoint, you know, it's not the same. I mean, it's not related at all. So that is the chapter 2. Right. And then we have a couple of, we're going to shoot a new video in a few weeks. That is the chapter 3 of the kind of the story that we're creating. Right. I mean, musically, I would say that we're kind of in Scorpion Parallel, for example, we're trying to use that kind of, I would say more like modern or young stuff, like some really hard auto-tune in some parts and electronic drums.
Right.
But just for the sake that I feel like should be like, not because we want to have sales or, you know, make some money from that. No. Because I felt like I would like to try this. And I was working with Martin Meracho, that is a producer from here, from Buenos Aires. And he said, man, we can try that out, you know, and actually it fits really well. And if you heard that song, for example, it's not like you notice that that is out of place or it's from another genre. No, it's like, yeah, it's there, man. And I think that might just it
doesn't seem out of place. It doesn't seem out of place. No, because I'm telling you, when I listened to it, I was just like, oh man. So they're going here too. So I was just like, it's cool because me, you know, and my son, he's a rap artist. He's you know, doing his thing, but he gets into that a lot more because, you know, he's young, but he gets more into that. And so I've listened to all of it. And so when you had that aspect of it in there, I was just like, okay, I get it. No, you know, I 100% get it. And that's why I said it's like that roller coaster ride. I love those different elements. So when I asked that question after I had listened to everything, I was just like, man, all these different, you know, genres of music and things. I said, I wonder if they're using all these different elements in there. So that's why that was my question. That was my question though. That's why I thought about that. I was like, this is probably why they're saying this. Yeah.
Well, I think that actually there's a few bands that are trying to do something like that, but I haven't heard like something really that it fits. It fits like naturally, I would say.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying that we are the first one or something like that. No, for sure, there's a lot of many other bands, but that's pretty much the idea, the concept that we were trying to put there, you know. From the visual aspect, we're trying to approach this kind of sexual activity, or because you know, it's like the people call it BDSM. So we try to do something like that, you know. I don't know. The bass player is more or used to be more into that because he had a girl that was into that. And
oh, really?
Man, yeah. I don't know if he was lucky or not, but and he called me one day, like in 1 a.m, and he said, man, there's something that is happening in the underground. Then at some point it's going to explode, and it's a really beautiful thing that we can put in a visual artistic way that will look what I would love to do. I said, man, I mean, I'm with you, you know, I back you up for sure. And we found the right persons to have the outfits and do kind of the ties on the hand, everything that really. And I think that ended up I wrote the script and ended up in I would say like a really beautiful, you know, visual aspect or piece of art. It's kind of, I would say that it's kind of difficult to find that type of visual thing right now mostly on YouTube, you know, without being explicit, because there's nothing, you know, it's like the body of women and you know the how beautiful is the feminine, you know, form and shape of women. So that's pretty much what we try to do there. And I think that we did,
The videos, the treatments are love. I'm telling you, I enjoyed them. You got me. You know what I'm saying? The music's already great, but then you got me, and I'm just like, okay, Like,
yeah.
I was like, all right.
Okay, happy man.
I'm there. I'm feeling you. Great job.
Yeah.
Seriously, great job,
Okay,
man.
thank you, man.
It's going to go over really, really well. It definitely is.
Okay, cool.
So,
much appreciated, bro.
What is the ultimate goal for In Element?
Oh man, right now is to release the album in the best way that we can, for sure. The album is coming out on September 13th. The first single is right now in May 11th. And we have this massive tour over Europe with a band called Nile. That is really extreme band, really extreme band. So we have 33, 36 dates over Europe, UK, and Ireland. Right. So it's going to, I mean, we are preparing ourselves, you know, it's like, really is like a challenge, you know, for us. I mean, 33 gigs in a row, just with 2 days off. And we haven't been playing for 2 years. So that's the first, I mean, Berlin is going to be the first. Actually, it's kind of weird because I was talking with the best player that he's in New Orleans, but he came right now. He's here to shoot the video, the last video. And it was, man, the last time that we play, we have this kind of situation that I was telling you about with the promoter and the whole thing. The first time that we're going to play right now is going to be in Berlin, and it's going to be my first gig as a frontman. And I have been waiting for that moment, you know, my whole life, man. You know? So
I've been waiting for this moment for all my life.
That's, you know, it's kind of funny because every time that we rehearsal, it's like, man, I really feel that, you know, I have been waiting for this, you know.
Right. That's funny. I kind of, in one of our new songs, I kind of allude to something like that. You know, what the guy I'm working with now in my Plastic Catastrophe with Lord Nelson, man. But that's awesome, man. Now the tour's gonna be good. It's 30-something dates, man. It's gonna be real.
It's going to be real, man. Yeah. For sure, man. I'm preparing myself physically, you know, mentally, and everything, man. I am all the logistic, because I mean everything that we do is kind of independent, you know. So we have to prepare everything, just because I mean, I do understand that it's like hard to be on the road. I do know that, and every single person in any type of band, you know, from Guns N' Roses to any type of band, they're going to say it's kind of hard, man. It's hard to be, you know, far away from your family and you know, just your place and everything. So regardless of that, I just want to have like a good time. I just don't want to be without sleep like for 3 days or 4 days. Let's just have a nice band and try to just make it like a good experience, you know. We don't have to be suffering from anything, you know, because it's not about the money. It's just, I mean, the venues that we're going to hit are fucking great, so let's just enjoy them, awesome, man. You know?
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things, you know, the venues are good. Yeah, cool, man. Let's do it.
Indeed. You know, I always say that when you play in, because I played in some, and I know you probably have.
I do understand that, man. I feel you.
But when you play in those venues and it's packed out and it's sold out, oh man, it's unbelievable, because you get to really interact with the crowd so much, you know. But
what was the best venue that you played?
What's the best one that I played? Venue. The Underworld in Camden in England was really good. But we played in Hungary. We played on this boat. Man, I can't remember what the ship was. That was one of the most amazing. That was an unbelievable show. It really was. But every show that has been in Hungary has been good. Marty's in the Czech Republic. I played in a few of them that have been really great, man. But Relentless.
We have.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. We have one gig in the Underworld in there.
Oh, really? Underworld. That's a great place. You should enjoy that. Yeah, because I'm going to ask you that in a second also. So we're getting close to finishing. I don't know if I want to finish. This is good to me.
Oh, that's fine, man.
I say that every time, man, but I'm enjoying this so much. So what has been Here we go now. What has been your best tour and show to date?
Well, when we went to Australia,
Mm-hmm.
The last gig that we did was with this band called Segregation.
Okay.
That it was a really well-known band from Australia. They did some tour with Pantera, with Sepultura, I think, with Megadeth, with the Slipknot.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the support from them. I mean, they played and we were, you know, kind of the lead support, I would say. And the place was kind of a basement called Beanon in the kind of the downtown of Sydney.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't like a really good venue, but kind of I have that kind of that beautiful feeling about that, you know, being in Australia and Sydney, playing with that band. They came, they bought the whole merch that we have on the table.
Wow.
They let us use the backline that they have, you know, and it was, man, they have this amplifier and this head that was, I mean, was nasty, man. The sound was nasty, you know. I was playing with that. I was like, whoa, man. I mean, sounding like I'm playing the Majors, you know, that kind of my feeling when I was playing there, you know. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't feel that it was the best. It was like 150 to 100 people there. Yeah. So it wasn't, but I have that feeling like I was really kind of grateful for that, you know. Indeed. And then when we play with Killswitch Engage here in Buenos Aires. I mean, regardless that all the situation with the band and the promoter, I was really happy because it was like 2,000 person. The place was packed, man. Awesome. And the sound was like really fine. We have this kind of beautiful lights and the whole thing, and we recorded it, so it was cool, man.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Those things when you get those good times, whether it's a big venue, whether it's a festival, or whether it's just a small thing, whatever it is that just touches you, and it doesn't matter how big it is. It's just if it touches you, you just have a good feeling, you know. And I've had a few of those, you know. So now this question right here. You're going to be honest with me and just tell me what you feel. And it's the last question, and we'll end it on this. So in what order of importance is fame, money, and love for you?
I like money. Let me tell you, I like money. Right now, I would say that I'm doing kind of a decent amount of money from I am in the field of technology. Mm-hmm. But right now I have a lot of love, for example, you know, I feel like, man, the people that I have around me, they really love me. They really have a feeling, like an honest feeling, you know, my family, my mom, some of my friends, you know, my girl, everything. So I think that I could live without money, but not without love.
Not without love. Man, oh man.
Yeah. Awesome. Just being fame, I consider I don't know if for sure I understand, like, no, I understand, like, I don't know. I do know that I'm not a fame person, but I feel myself like I'm a fame person, you know. Right. Well, I have that feeling. Look, man, every time that I talk, that sometimes, you know, when I talk with someone, it's like, man, but you're not famous. But I don't know, I feel like I'm famous. You know what I mean? So I think, fuck it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, but I just, you know, once again, and I know some of the questions are like you've been asked before, but I like to sit down, and after I've looked at all your stuff, and then I just sit there and I said, what question would I like to ask? I don't go and get anybody else's questions. I just ask questions that feel good to me because of the vibe that I'm getting from you guys. So I just want to once again tell you, man, that just looking at what you're doing, it's going to be magnificent. You've been to Europe, you've been to Australia, man. Europe is always great. Europe has some of the best fans out there. They support and they love and they're into the music. And man, it's just.
I just want to go to. I mean, we have this kind of opportunity to make a US tour. Mm-hmm. With Seven Dust. I love that band, but they just, I mean, that just slipped through my fingers, that opportunity. So I was kind of sad about it. But for sure next year, I think that we're going to do like a proper US tour.
Awesome.
If and yeah, I mean, much appreciated all your comments, brother, for sure. I have heard your music, obviously. Stu Mojo is one of the first band that my best friend, my whole life, Santiago, brought to me in high school. Yeah, and so I don't know. It's just I'm not expecting anything, but I'm willing and I'm open to do the things that I have to do, just to take the honest words that I wrote and the honest music that we have been doing with my bandmates. That's pretty much, that's the most important thing, I think. As an artist, try to increase your level of honesty, and I think that in some point that's the key to connect with the people, man. I mean, we are here to connect and just help the other person through our words, through our actions, through the experience that we have been living. I don't ask anything else. If they want to give me some money, that's fine. I don't complain about it, but it's not important,
Right, indeed. Well, listen, man, thank you so much. Last thing for you, do you want to plug anything, man? Tell them about your social media. Tell them about how they can check you out. Let it be known. Let it be known.
Yeah, for sure. Well, in Element, that's with a T in the end. In Element, we have our Instagram, that is In Element Band. I mean, if you just Google In Element Band, it's going to be a lot of results there. We have a bunch of videos on YouTube. That is just youtube.com/In Element. We have this new album that is called Victory or Defeat. And first single is going to be May 11th, Scorpion Paradox. And the album is coming out on September 13th. We're going to be over Europe starting on Berlin, November 3rd.
Early.
So, I don't know, man. That's pretty much everything about the band. I hope that if you listen to music and like it, just came to the show if you had the opportunity. We're going to do some really, killer merch. And I think that the label is going to be selling it on the e-commerce that they have. And regardless, just any type of comment is appreciated. This is about music. That's it, man.
Indeed, man. Awesome, man. In Element, man. You guys will go over there to Europe and go kill it, man. I know you are. You're going to have a great time. They're going to come out and support, and it's going to be love, man. Just continue success in all you do, and I'm going to definitely keep up with you, and it's just going to be love, man. It's all love, man. It's what we're talking about the whole time, man. It's been love. It's going to continue to be love, man. So just continue to do your things. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's the big guy on the little show. It's Live and Loud with the Lord Nelson, that is, with my man, Charlie Oceans. Charlie Oceans, I love it, man. Charlie Oceans, yeah.
Much appreciated, brother.
From In Element. Hey, thank you again, man. I really, really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, man.
Okay. See you soon, brother.
All right, indeed.
Bye.
Hey everybody, it is Chris Aiken, and guess what, folks? I've got a couple of copies of this bad sucker right here. Call Me Chris, my best-selling book to date. It is it's a stellar book, I think. You know, if I can be so bold, it is a stellar book. It is about my time recovering from my burn accident. It is my best reviewed one. It is my best selling book. And I actually found a few copies that are autographed and ready to go. So if you've been waiting for your book, call me, Chris. You wanted it autographed. Now's the time, because I don't have many of them. And once they're gone, they're gone. So order it today over at chrisaikenbooks.com.